What's up, everybody? Rob here, back with another episode of Wasting Wildcards here on Multi 5, and this week I am playing a very fun and spicy, I guess it's not that spicy, it's kind of what you would expect to play when we are playing Tempered Steel. So Tempered Steel is the deck we are playing. If you are unfamiliar, Tempered Steel was a huge part of a standard deck back in Scars of Mirrodin, as the card symbol will say. And basically, it's kind of like the modern affinity deck, where you just play a ton of cheap or even free artifact creatures, and then between Tempered Steel and Steel Overseer, we just make those huge and we just win. So this is just a flat-out aggro deck. You try to go as fast as you can. You try to beat your opponents down. So the deck actually plays pretty similarly to the old modern affinity deck. All That Glitters kind of serves as the cranial plating in this deck, where you can just slap this on one of your creatures and it becomes huge all of a sudden. If you have a Tempered Steel out and you throw this down and you have a bunch of art, I mean, you're attacking for a ton. And All That Glitters just works great with Stonecoil Serpent. I mean, I just love Stonecoil Serpent. The more I play with this card, the more I love it. It is just an all-star in the Stompy decks I've been playing. It's an all-star in all of the artifact decks you play. Just Trample. Trample is so good. And Trample plus Tempered Steel plus All That Glitters is very good. So what are the other artifacts that kind of make this deck go? We've got Ornithopter, which is always just a staple of the artifact aggro decks. It's free, it has flying. It sucks at first, but you know, it becomes pretty big pretty quick. We've got 4 Gingerbrutes, which is just kind of become a staple in standard aggro decks, and it fits in perfect here. For one, it's a hasty artifact creature, and it can be unblockable, pretty much. So later on in the game, you just need to get in 3 bits of damage. You just pay that 1 mana, and if you need to gain life, but he's not food. He's a friend. And then we've got Inquisitive Puppets. Again, it's just a very cheap artifact. It lets you scry 1 to kind of smooth out your curve, make sure you're not drawing too many lands, make sure the stuff you're drawing is good. Again, it's an O2, so we really want this in combination with the Steel Overseers, with the Tempered Steels. Similarly with Locthwain Giant, again, these are just cheap filler creatures that are artifacts, and they become huge. And you want all of these 1-drops because All That Glitters gets better, everything gets better. So you want a lot of 1-drops. We've then got 4 Sparring Construct, again, just a crappy 1/1, but when it dies, it throws a counter on something. So it's kind of like modular with stuff, but it's just 1 counter. But still, you throw that 1 counter on something, at least it leaves behind its own power and toughness, which is cool. And then again, Stonecoil Serpent, my boy, my sweet, sweet serpent, doing work, reach, trample, protection from colorless. It's just, what don't you do? It's just, it fits anywhere on the curve. It's just great. You got, everybody knows this card's great. And then Steel Overseer, one of the main payoffs of this deck, it's just such a good card. I mean, if you've played with this, board stalls only last a couple turns when you have a Steel Overseer, especially if you have 2 Steel Overseers, your teams just get so big so fast. And then combined with Voltaic Servant, which is a really fun synergy that I've really loved in this build, you can tap and untap multiple times in a turn, which just gets out of hand real fast. And then, like I said, All That Glitters kind of serves the cranial plating. You throw this on something, you do a ton of damage. The deck can be fragile to sweepers, so we do have 2 Unbreakable Formations. And even if it's not just a sweeper, you just need to get in those last bits of damage. Just the addendum on it comes in handy. You can just pump your whole team and go in for the win. And then again, Tempered Steel, +2/+2 on all of your artifact creatures. That's huge. That's not just a regular Glorious Anthem. That is a sweet, sweet Steel Anthem. And then for the lands, we've got 1 castle, 14 plains, a ghost quarter, and 4 Zhalfirin Voids. I don't know. It's got a Teferi on it, looking out at a sea of clouds and stuff. It's cool. Let's scry. Makes colorless, but you know what? We mostly need colorless anyway, so don't mind playing 5 colorless lands in this deck. It seems to work out for me so far. And then in the sideboard, we've got a Grafdigger's Cage and a Soul Guide Lantern combo here. I would have all cages, but I didn't waste enough wildcards to get there yet. So these are kind of my graveyard hate pieces. We've got 1 Shadowspear for like mono red, other very aggressive aggro decks, and since it's an artifact, it kind of plays in with the synergy. It comes in handy occasionally. We've got 4 Glass Caskets to go against the opposing creature decks, specifically ones that have early blockers or like ramp creatures that you just want to get out of the way so you can attack through. Glass Casket being an artifact is very, very convenient and very good. We've got 3 Thalias, which I'm so happy. Death and Taxes is like my favorite deck, and the fact that I can play a Thalia even in the sideboard, it just fills my heart. I love that she's on Arena. It's so great. But everybody knows where this is coming in. I mean, against stuff like heavy spell-based burn, control, is it Phoenix type stuff, Thalia just puts in the work. Sorcerous Spyglass, got some annoying planeswalkers, you know, and more formations against sweepers. So that's the deck. This is Tempered Steel in Historic on Arena, and yeah, let's play some games. All right, so here we are with game 1 with Tempered Steel, and this is pretty terrible. I mean, best case scenario, we draw into an untapped land and all that glitters something. That could be good. That could be good. I shouldn't keep this. This is a 1-land hand. You know what? The upside of an Ornithopter with all that glitters, that's going to keep me going. I'm pretty sure we're going to get punished, but let's go. Come on. We just got to draw a land. Our opponent is on... Thank you. All right. So we're actually going to just... no, we want another land. So we're going to Overseer and pass. Our opponent is on Grixis, which means our shit's going to die. They're probably playing 3-mana sweepers. And... yeah, 3-mana sweepers are not what my deck likes. All right. Not the best, not the worst. I guess I'll just get in for 3 here. I don't want to crazy overcommit because I do feel a sweeper coming on pretty soon. Or just 1-for-1 removal. That's fine. Let's go 2 Sparring Constructs, I guess, and just pass the turn. That way, next turn, our All That Glitters is better. Man, if only that lived. Okay, that's fine. Let's get rid of the Gargoyle here. Don't really need that. And I guess we'll get rid of the Puppet here. Don't need that either. All right, so we've got our lands. We've got some attackers. If we drew into a Tempered Steel, that would be pretty fantastic. I can't bring Croxa back yet. Sweeper's going to be real bad. It's going to feel real bad. They might not have a sweeper. I feel like if they did, they would probably just snap it off, but... So they've used 2 Croxes, 2 Heartless Axe. All right, Extinction Event. That's one thing you can do, I guess. Get rid of those. It's a weird card. I have been super blown out by that card, though, I gotta say. All right, so an Atris. Let's go. I don't even know if that was right. I just super fast and loosed it. All right, that is an awesome draw. Let's get in for some damage. We will throw that counter on the Gargoyle, because if we get 1 more land, we can give it flying. It's surprisingly working, considering how sloppy of a kind of a game we've been playing. Mire Triton, Croxa, and a handful of other stuff. Yeah, I mean, this I've played a very similar Grixis deck to this in Standard. I mean, there's only 1 historic-only card I've seen so far. All right, so basically, if we draw a land, we can get in for the win. That's not a land. All right, so that's a bummer. A land there would have been pretty damn good. So let's hope they don't draw a sweeper. Let's hope they don't. All right, Death Toucher is annoying. A flying blocker that they can't cast without more lands. So I'm still not sure what our opponent's doing, but... Oh, this is annoying. I mean, I can attack... No, let's hold back again. I can start attacking with the Ornithopter next turn. And when I do, they'll have to start blocking eventually. Yep, we're like one Tempered Steel, we're really just one land away from being in really good shape. All right, I take that back. And the Nicol Bolas Dragon God is going to start probably picking away at a... I guess the Construct right now is probably the worst payoff. Okay, Gingerbrute can actually be blocked. So do we go for Nicol Bolas or do we just go for... I think we just do this. We make them minus their Nicol Bolas to get anything done. Untap the Ornithopter. It's got a bigger butt for blocking. All right, so they are going to kill the Gingerbrute. Not bad. They do have to... I can't speak. They do have to negative. So they're probably going to play one of the Phoenixes, I would guess, unless they have something else in their hand that can block or kill my flyers. That'll do it. That'll block the flyers. All right, so we are quickly becoming outclassed here. And outcast. They're casting more things. All right, fourth land. Gingerbrute. Actually, potentially awesome. So we are going to make our gargoyle big. And I'm going to attack like this, because either way, they probably need to block here, they lose, and we'll be able to kill the Nicol Bolas. So that's actually, that was a great turn for us. Who's got the bigger butt? So they have a lot of action in their graveyard, and they can start casting stuff. They can't really double spell. They're not snapping off any removal spells, so I'm kind of wondering what they have in hand. They haven't hit their land drop every turn. What's Grixis playing? I guess if it's like Cry of the Carnarium or something like that that they drew later in the game, it wouldn't do much. All right, so another Ravager coming down. And if they don't have spot removal, we may be able to get there this turn. Oh, God damn it. Never mind. I forgot. That thing costs mana to activate. I gotta remember, 4 mana. That's a lot. It only cost 1. All right, Gingerbrute, take us home. Take us home. They can block it with Phoenix of the Ash, but then... Okay, so they can flip Bolas here. They could flip Bolus and put other Bolus back on the battlefield. No, they already have one. Flip Bolus, put a Phoenix on the battlefield. Have one blocker. All right, so I'm going to attack with just the Gargoyle here. And I can kill... Definitely going to get rid of the Bolus here, just because having a flipped Bolus is going to be a bad time. Trying to think of what else our opponent could have here, but okay, that... All right, I mean, yeah, that's good. Sure. All right, so what would be great here? Another Tempered Steel would be fucking awesome. Oh, stuck at 1. I feel like that one turn, if we didn't get stuck on our land for that one turn and we could have activated the Gargoyle one turn earlier. I'm trying to think. So activating Bolus and tossing a Phoenix onto the battlefield would give them couple flying blockers and a hasty blocker. All right, so their graveyard's completely empty, which is good. Six pro multicolored. I'll take it. Yeah, no attacks. So next turn, I can attack with a Stonecoil Serpent. They'll have to block with... Oh, it's got Death Touch. That's kind of a bummer. It says Trample, though. I like this. I like where we're at right now. We're in a pretty okay spot. Can't activate their castles because they'll just die. We would get so blown out by that 4-mana black... I honestly don't know what my opponent's going to do here, and I'm too tired to really think through all of their gameplay options. Or our opponent can just try to time out, see what they're going to do. They could draw 2 cards and potentially draw into a spot removal spell. That could keep them alive, potentially. Whew. All right. Yes, we got there. All right, so Grafdigger's Cage, that's coming in. Thalia, not bad, but Spyglass. Let's bring in just our graveyard hate for now. I'm going to keep in the 2 formations for now just because I'm not sure what kind of sweepers they're playing. They're definitely playing sweepers. If I had to guess, Cry of the Carnarium, which is very good against us until we get our Tempered Steel out because this just completely nullifies that spell. Maybe we go down Gargoyle and a Puppet. And we are on the draw. So let's go down Plains. Let's see how it does. Let's see how it does. This could, again, potentially be awesome if we draw into our lands or be terrible. We've got a... Oh, man. If we draw a land and we can at least get the Overseer going, this isn't terrible. And we've got our Cage. I'm going to keep it just because we've got the Grafdigger's Cage and the ability to turn off all of their escape stuff is going to be pretty nice. Again, just praying for lands, praying for lands. Let's start with the puppet because we can scry. Ho, ho. Oh, yeah. And let's not play the Ornithopter yet just because no sense risking it getting killed. We're not going to be able to do anything with it anyway. If they try to kill my puppet, I can just make a human. All right, so I say we discard the formation, actually. Play a land. Play the Overseer. And then... I'm just going to play that. If they have a sweeper this turn, I don't want to get completely blown out. They're looking at the Overseer, so makes me think they have a spot removal for it. Disfigure is not a bad spell in this deck. So I say we just go... I guess... Yeah, we want to play Ornithopter because next turn we can All That Glitters it and start bashing in for 4 at that point. Okay, so we've got backup. That's not a bad thing. So we'll get in for 4 here. Get Bedeviled. Main deck Bedevil, actually, pretty good against my deck. Gets rid of the Grafdigger's Cage. Gets rid of pretty much anything in my deck. Just play the Gargoyle and pass turn here. Pretty crappy game without drawing your lands. Tempered Steel would turn things around for us pretty quick. We'd at least be able to attack for stuff, but our opponent's hitting all their land drops. Yep, that's a Dragon God. All right, so we're going to get rid of one of the Tempered Steels, and I can potentially... So if I play this... 1, 2, 3, 4... Both ways I can only bring Nicol Bolas down to 1. So let's go... Let's do that. Next turn I could get rid of a Plains, and then All That Glitters, super risky, and our opponent is just... They just have everything in the world right now. Keeping a one-lander is always a dumb idea. It is always a dumb idea. Sure, it worked out once. Sure. Not this time. Got a goddamn Pinocchio against Nicol Bolas. All right, so they got a Phoenix. Decent blocker. All right, Scry 1, Ornithopter. I think we need something a little more high impact than Ornithopter. I'm going to attack just as is to the Nicol Bolas. And I might All That Glitters up second main phase just because if they kill something, I want to be able to still get my my value. So we got a 7/10. It's probably not long for this world, but choose odd or even. Oh, Full control. Why do you need to hit full control? If I have an ability, I should be able to activate it. I could have a 1/1 human right now. Captive audience, eh? Okay, okay, interesting. Let's discard my hand. Cool. Gingerbrute's gonna be real big. You know, just playing against the main deck, most likely 7 mana enchantment. All right, so we are just completely outvalued at this point. Yeah, that was a terrible keep on my part. Should have mulliganed. I don't know what I was thinking. So they do have a lot of spells. So maybe we want our Thalias to come in. Maybe we just do 2 things of Graveyard Hate. Formation actually doesn't work against Cry of the Carnarium. Cry of the Carnariums, Jesus. And yeah, let's just try this. Oh, I should have put the land back in. Punts. Punts all around. Again with the 1 mana. We got a mulligan this time. We got to be smart. This is good. This is very good. It's annoyingly good. I don't know what to put back. These all work very well together. So... Goodbye, dear. And we get to scry. I love it. Ooh, yeah, we want that with the Overseer. So let's go Gingerbrute, Ornithopter, and attack. So they probably got like a Disfigure or something. So let's just throw the Overseer out. Make them kill it now. We've at least got the All That Glitters back up. Another land is very good, especially this one. Don't want you. All That Glitters up. Get in for 4. So we're on a decent little aggro bent here. If this card ever lived, it would be awesome, but... yeah. There is, like, absolutely an Azorius artifact deck here that could be played. That's probably where I'm going to dive in next after this. Mono White was just easier at the moment. All right, well, we're just going to attack with what we got. So, short white mana, which is annoying for our Tempered Steels. Yep, all the removal. Would be better with more mana, but I'll take a 3/3 pro multicolored. Lets me attack through most of its blockers, so... start untapping it too. Ashiok. Why? Okay, I guess. For self-mill purposes. Incidental Graveyard Hate against my not graveyard deck. Just get them down low. Come on, come on. We're so close. We're so close. All right. So they can play Phoenix of Ash here for sure. Okay. And do they have a Disfigure? No? Oh my god. Oh my god. well, we're never going to activate a Steel Overseer, but Artifact aggro, doing pretty good. 1 damage, come on. Don't have it. Don't have it. Don't have it. All right, no Croxa, no nothing. Woo! All right, we got there, guys. We got there. So, honestly, I mean, like, yeah, Tempered Steel was good, but pretty much you just got to beat down with, like, what could be a standard deck. Yeah, let's see game 2. Let's see what else we got in this thing. All right, guys, here we are with game number 2. Let's see how Tempered Steel can do. So we've got 2 mana, which is better than most of our draws so far this game. I'm going to keep this for sure. I'm going to lead off on the Gingerbrute, our good friend the Gingerbrute. Scry for 1 for sure. Little low powered. We definitely want to get to 3 mana here. We want to get our Tempered Steel online. We have a bunch of shitty 1-drops, so getting our Tempered Steel down is really what we want. Legion's Landing, so we could be up against Vampires or White Weenie. Steel Overseer, not bad. Sure, I'll trade. If it is White Weenie, we want them to have the least amount of blockers as possible. Still could be either thing here, so let's go Puppet so we can scry. Plains, absolutely. And let's go Gargoyle so we can block. And we're going to activate this and just pass the turn. Sure, we could be sneaky and activate it on their turn, but who are we kidding? They know what we're going to do. Okay, so definitely White Weenie. I respect my opponent. Playing White Weenie, living the dream. But there's a new aggro deck in town. Whew, feels good. 2 activations on the Overseer. Yes. Whew. And Tempered Steel. All right, this is a showcase game. Watch my recording get messed up and not get to show how awesome this deck can be. Or my opponent's playing Settle the Wreckage. Yeah, all right. All right, they're not holding Settle the Wreckage man up. Not going to get Luis Scott Vargas. Did. All right, so next turn they can attack for a ton, but we can attack for more? All right. Ooh. Ooh, baby. That's going to be real silly. That's going to be real silly. Let's see here. So I have 18 life. Let's just quickly do some math so I don't get completely blown out and lose because I'm an idiot. So they're going to attack for 4. They get what, +2/+2? So 4, 14, 19, 20. So they're attacking for 25. We can block a decent amount of that stuff. Still going to attack here. I just want to get him low. So if we survive this all-out attack from our opponent, we're probably going to be in a very good spot. So we're going to try to kill as much stuff as possible. So we are poised to take 14. They have 1 card in hand. I don't know what they could have that would give them +4/+4. I mean, I could be safe and just trade with a knight. Pump up like a gargoyle or something. Let's throw that on this gargoyle. They can make a blocker. I think we got here. I think we got there. I'm trying to think of what they could have in their hand other than a Settle the Wreckage, which would just be such a feel bad. But, all right, awesome. We got there. So, yeah, White Weenie, one of the more aggressive decks in the format. Not as fast as Tempered Steel. So, a Glass Casket coming in. Unbreakable Formation coming out. Stonecoil Serpent. Trample's good. Flying's good. Let's go down 2 gargoyles. Although they got decent butts for blocking, I think the 4 mana to give it flying later in the game is not going to be super relevant, so I just want aggression and I want removal of their stuff. So that's what we're doing. All right, so here we are. Match number 2. Got our 2 lands. You got to go Ghost Quarter too. We can blow up one of their I forget the vampire castle land thing. But we can blow one of those up if we have to. Got 2 caskets, an overseer, and a construct, and a puppet. This is a pretty good keep. Gonna lead on the puppet because it can block a 1/1 as well as scry. So what do we want? We always want a Tempered Steel, so we're gonna hit 3 lands, so we're gonna put that to the bottom. The castle is also already kind of coming in untapped. We're just gonna take this too. We want our puppet to have the potential of growing big and strong. So here, I think I want Overseer, and then next turn I can casket the Vanguard and play a Ghost Quarter. We are going to be taking a lot of damage, but I think the right move here is to probably start to develop our board. God damn it. Yep, you got me. You got me. All right, well, you win some, you lose some. No blocks. Maybe they don't realize that this exiles, and they'll try to pay a couple life for their Vanguard. I doubt it. It'd be cool if they did, though, wouldn't it? All right, so planes. Let's casket the Vanguard. Play the Sparring Construct, which is a very good blocker here, and pass the turn. Can block here, block here. Can blow up one of these castles with our Ghost Quarter pretty soon. So we're going to block here, block there. Kind of interesting approach there. History, okay. Ornithopter. So we will go Ornithopter. I guess, do we just play out everything? Servant. We'll get rid of the knight here. And I guess we'll just bash in for 1, if you can even call that bashing. So if we draw into a Tempered Steel, we're going to be in a very good spot. That is not a Tempered Steel. I'm going to blow up their castle. They do have a backup. I don't know, why wouldn't they I guess they can still activate it, but... feels bad, feels bad, feels bad. Definitely needs something to pump the team up here. Guess maybe blowing up their castle is probably wrong, because now I can't activate my castle. Yeah, fine, make them big. Yeah, losing our Overseer pretty early definitely came back to bite us. Tempered Steel. Tempered Steel. God damn it. If we scry into a steel... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's a pretty quick clock, but I think I might be dead by then. Yeah, it's like a 3-turn clock where we are definitely we need Temper Steel to even remotely stay in this. Yep. So they're making life linkers, which sucks for us. Oh man, Tempered Steel would be so great right now. So I guess we can double block there. Oh, I'm bad at math. I'm dead. All right. Game number 2. All right, so not game number 2, game number 3. So I think our approach to that is fine. I think we just need to maybe keep a couple more of our higher powered cards in our opening hand. Or maybe if we have stuff we can use to scry into that powerful stuff. But just kind of 1-powered artifact creatures suck, so... Yeah, all right, and they're playing removal, so we just need to be kind of aware of that. Playing first, and a lot of lands, but we've got power and the ability to scry, so I'm actually going to keep this. Our opponent looks like they mulliganed, so that's not bad. So they mulligan and we get to scry on turn 1. It's a decent little second Overseer we're going to keep. If we can start doubling up on those, that'd be pretty fun. Again, I'm going to keep my Ornithopter in my hand for now. Let's go Overseer, and we'll play Ornithopter now so we can attack with it next turn. Giant Killer could get annoying. For sure, for sure. Not going to trade. Let's go Plains. We'll play our second Overseer here. And activate Overseer. Yeah, I don't want to block next turn, so no sense in holding it back to activate on the block. Okay, so they got some stuff going on here, but we got some stuff too. So the most problematic card will eventually be that, but it's a flyer. So I'm going to get rid of Giant Killer just because I don't want to tapping down my stuff. We're going to all that glitters on the Ornithopter. And gonna hold off on activating these until they attack because we can block and then activate both of them and make my team huge. They got one card in hand. And they're going to the end of their turn. It's like a Banalish Marshal or something. Come on, come on. All right, another Loxodon. We will activate in response. Also pump up our team. Another All That Glitters would be pretty tight right now. So we are in a very good spot here, because we can block pretty much all their stuff, activate my Overseers, make them bigger. All right, so let's do this. Put on full control, just because Arena has a way of really, really just ruining your day. So blocking the 3/3s with the 6/6s. So we got there. I was going to blow up their lane with the Ghost Quarter just to be mean, but all right. So that game was awesome. We got to see Tempered Steel and Steel Overseer work together in game one. We got to see two Steel Overseers just take over. So Steel Overseer, when they are not playing a bunch of removal, is so good. And it's just, this deck is real fun. So yeah, those two games, we won both of them. We got to play against an aggro deck and a more mid-range control-y deck, and we beat both of them. So this deck is definitely has kind of the legs, I think, to be a mainstay in Historic. I don't know if it's going to be one of the best decks right now, but basically, like, Locthwain Gargoyle, this is not a good card. I just removed two from my deck accidentally. But imagine just as more sets come out, as more artifacts get printed, say something comparable with Gingerbrute, we would absolutely play that over like a... I mean, the puppet kind of serves a purpose at Scries, but there's going to be better one-drop artifacts. They might even reprint more zero-drop artifacts, some more two-drops, and just maybe more lands that go with it. But this is one of those archetypes that just get better with time, kind of like how I think like the Arclight Phoenix archetypes will also kind of get better with time, because the more one mana cantrips or just spells that get printed into Magic make that deck infinitely better. And that's why like the Pioneer version of that deck kind of always was like meh, because they have to play too many two drops. But this deck is rad, like super rad. Tempered Steel is such a cool card. I love artifact aggro decks. Affinity was the first modern deck I ever built in paper back when Mox Opal was like $20, and I thought a playset for $80 was insane. Yeah, it felt good selling those before it was banned and buying a television. Yeah, so that was Tempered Steel and Historic. Got there both games. It felt real good. It could go off. Just the broken cards can be real broken. There's definitely some weaknesses to the archetype. If you flounder at all, if you miss your land drops, if your opponent is playing removal.deck, you're going to have a bad time. But we still got there. So, yeah, if you guys are looking for a fun aggro deck to play in Historic, check out Tempered Steel. It is so good. Yes, just play it. And thank you guys for watching.